in our meditations, we have been talking a lot about the ego and really trying to understand our ego, these thoughts that we have about ourselves, what I want, what I need, what I want to get over there, I want to be there. And then the opposite side of that is what I don't want, that I don't want this in my life. I don't want whatever it is I'm perceiving that is going to cause me unhappiness. And so we talk about the ego a lot because this is where so much of our suffering comes from, our anxiety, our dissatisfaction, our doubts about ourselves, comes out of our ego, because through these thoughts, through these I thoughts, what's going to happen to me? What do they think about me? What do I think about me? Out of these thoughts comes this image of me. And this image, the problem isn't so much that this image arises, so much as we identify with it, that we think it's who we are. That just because we're having a thought about, something's not going well in our lives, and we all have ups and downs, but in that thought about, I don't want this unpleasant condition, this image arises that feels a sense of lack, a sense of separation, a sense of anxiety, of pain, of somehow we're missing out. And this is where a lot of our thoughts are, because our thoughts, we evolved to focus on what could go wrong, so we're always imagining all these different scenarios of things that are going wrong, and what's going to happen to me at the center of it. And out of that pops this little image of me, and how quickly we distort our perception of reality through this little image of me. And even when this image of me is good, right? Maybe things are going your way and you just got a promotion and you got a pay raise, and everyone's praising you and things are going really well. We don't realize how fragile that is, because all it takes then is just your mind starting to wander again. Well, gosh, I texted my best friend 2 hours ago that I got the promotion. Why hasn't she responded yet? Or such and such, they didn't quite congratulate me the way I thought they should. I don't think they really recognized how hard I worked. And just in that, all of a sudden this image of me is now shattered. Or it's at least fallen off. It's lost a little bit of its sparkle. And so the problem is that we are so used to being lost in our thoughts, always thinking about ourselves. So we're always lost in our egoic type thoughts, that we think this ego image of who we think we are, we think it's permanent. We think it's fixed. We think it's a fact. This is who I am, this image. But it's just an image. It arises and it passes away. But again, we're thinking so much, we don't realize that it actually does go away. And we have these situations all the time with our ego. Like it just kind of comes up, you can see something, and I will share this. I don't do Facebook much, but I have been trying to make a little bit more of an effort on my business page. And so today when I posted for the call tonight, it said, do you want to make this an event? And so I thought, yeah, I'll make it an event, send it out there. And then just a couple hours ago, I thought, maybe I should just check to see if anyone has any questions. And you can just see it there saying, 0 people attending. And you can feel in that moment the ego like, nobody likes me. I'm a loser, right? You can just feel it. It comes on so quickly. But because I am very aware of my ego, I knew I breathed into it, which is exactly what I've instructed all of you to do. I only tell you to do what I do. I breathed into the energy, coming into my breath, coming back into the present moment, and it was gone. That unworthy image that arose so quickly, and then it was gone. It didn't go into hiding, it didn't just get small. It doesn't exist. If I don't give it my attention, if I recognize its true nature, it's impermanent. It arises and it passes away. And again, for us to understand that there's always someone that's going to have a little bit more than us. There's always someone that's going to be a little more successful, that's going to be a little bit prettier, that's going to have a little better house, that's going to be perceived to have a little bit better family, a better spouse, better children. There's always going to be someone that has a little bit more than us. And to understand how fragile our ego is in comparing ourselves to other people and feeling bad. Or how fragile it is because it doesn't recognize that, we all experience ups and downs. Sometimes we get praised, sometimes we get criticized. They're both two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. And yet we love the praise. The ego wants the praise, doesn't want the criticism. And yet we all experience it. We experience pleasant conditions, unpleasant conditions. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But our ego arises through whenever we're losing, whenever we're uncomfortable, whenever we're getting criticized. And it imagines, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Look at you, you're such a loser. And so our job is to see this, to understand we are not our ego. That's not who we are. Our ego is just an arising and passing away. It's impermanent. It is as impermanent as the rainbow. And the more that we start to see that, the less control it has over us. So we know when all of a sudden those conditions start getting, we feel that tension, we feel that, oh my God, I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Everyone else is having a good life but me. Nobody likes me. What's going wrong? Right? And we can breathe into it and go, wow, when I come back into the present moment, the ego just disappears. Because your ego is not real. And it cannot exist in the present moment. It cannot exist in awareness. And so this is what we're trying to do, is to bring more awareness so we don't get so lost in it. Okay? So thank you all.